Hello my friend, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about exactly how to build a YouTube channel that drives impact in 2026. I'm going to take you through the exact process that I've done in order to build my channel up from 0 to almost 20,000 people in less than a year. So let's get into it. So most people that arrive on this channel, they're looking for some kind of YouTube hacks, YouTube tactics, all that sort of stuff, because that is the expectation, because that is what pretty much everyone is doing. That is not what I offer here. I don't talk about hacks. I don't talk about tricks. I talk about being intentional from the beginning. So when I take people through a process within my program, the Really Real Creator Experience, it's all about getting clarity. Then from that clarity, then turning that clarity into creativity. And then from creativity, we create connection. So we go through a 3-part process. It's very deep, so many people, you may come into this thinking that you want to build a YouTube channel and get lots of views, get lots of subscribers, all that sort of stuff. But when you really start to question what is it that you really want, and you look at first principles thinking and you ask why, enough times you'll get down to the real reason behind why it is that you really want to do this in the first place. And when you look closely, the YouTube channel is a vehicle to do the thing that you really want. So the first step from my perspective is getting clear on what you actually want. If you don't know what you want, it becomes very difficult to know, what the intention should be for your channel, because there are many different ways that you can grow a YouTube channel and there are many different things that you can do. But if you don't know actually what you want from your life, what you want your life to feel like, it's going to be very difficult to choose a direction for the kind of channel that you want to make. So the people that I mainly work with here on this channel, the kind of guidance that I give is for people that want to drive impact, people that have been through an experience, that have got some sort of value, that have got some sort of expertise or skills, insight, knowledge that they now want to package up, create videos and share that to drive impact and change people's lives. That is essentially the kind of people that are going to get the most out of this channel. So you've got to decide for yourself, what do you want? What do you want your channel to be about, and why? Why do you want this in the first place? So it's good to get clear on that. Once we do that, you've got to then think about what is the value that you actually have? What is the clear value that you can offer to somebody else? Because the way YouTube works now, forget the algorithm, forget all of that sort of shit. Think about it as all the algorithm is trying to do is place your content with somebody who would be interested in it. And if you don't know what it is that you're making, the value that you have, then it's going to be very difficult for the algorithm, the big bad algorithm, to be able to place your content on the right feed, because ultimately it's trying to give you impressions. But if it's all over the place, it's very difficult to know, what it is that you're doing. So the first thing the second thing is thinking about what is the value that I can offer based on the experience that I've had. So again, you map that back, you kind of think about what is it that you're good at? What is it that people come to you for? What is the knowledge, skills, things that give you an edge in life, and really distill that down and think about what kind of value that you can actually offer to somebody that may be interested in it on YouTube. The next thing is thinking, okay, is there any demand? Does anyone actually give a shit? Does anyone care about the value that I have now distilled from my own life? Because if there's no one out there for it, you're going to be making stuff and there's just going to be no one interested. So it becomes a lot more difficult. It can still work. There's a lot of creative geniuses that make stuff. They pull things out of thin air. They think, okay, cool. I know this is interesting. I know that there's no market for it. I know there's no one out there that's interested in this sort of stuff. But I know deeply that just because they don't know that this is something of value, it doesn't mean it's not true. So that can also happen, but it's just easier if there's actually demand for it. So again, you can just do some research. You can look around, do some research on different YouTube channels. You can use vidIQ as well to kind of check that out and just find out if there's people out there that are doing the thing that you want to do. And then finding your lane, figure out what it is about you that is unique, that makes you interesting, that can stand out from the rest. The next thing then is kind of thinking about, okay, cool. So who is that human? Who is the human that would be interested in my videos? Who would be the one person that'd be interested in showing up for my videos? If I'm going to make a video every single week, who is the one person that'd be interested in showing up? Because you need that person to be showing up every single week. That's how your channel starts to get traction. If you're making a video every week for a different kind of person, your channel will be very difficult to get traction unless you're creating videos on trends, and then the reason people are showing up is because you're just making videos about trends. Then your channel can grow. But this is a lot more shallow. You may get more views, but it's going to be very difficult to kind of keep consistent with that sort of thing, to keep sustainable. Many people burn out taking that process. So from my perspective, the best thing is to figure out what it is that you're good at, who it is that's interested in that, and then create content for that. You look at what it is that I'm doing here. When you really distill it and ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing? You'll be able to see I'm speaking to one person with one problem that's looking to move through one transformation. It's very clear. And that has been mapped from my life. So that is what my mission is. My mission became something which was discovered from the natural process that I went through my life, and then got to this point where this made sense to be doing what it is that I'm doing today. It'll be different for you than it is for me. I have the skills, I have the experience that got me to the point where this made sense. So again, get clear on that person, and once you're clear on that, then again it becomes a lot easier for the big old dirty algorithm to be able to send your content to one person, because it knows who it is. If you don't know who it is, it's going to be very difficult for the algorithm to know who it is. So the more clear you are on that, the better. So once you know who that person is, then you've just got to start creating content. This is creating content intentionally. So doing it in a way where you can create a sustainable system so that you can be consistent. If you can only make one video a week, then make one video a week. If you can make 3, make 3. If you can make 1 a month, then that's just what you have to do in the beginning. But I would suggest you make 1 every single week, 1 long form video every single week. Again, speaking from your value to that one person, so that every week you are being in alignment with what it is that you're here to do. So again, this is how the consistency thing happens. The best way I would suggest that you do this is, if you are fortunate to have your own space where you can set it up like I've got here, you'll see every single one of my videos have been exactly the same. My camera's been there, the light's been here, it's been in the studio. This was very important for me to do what I needed to do, because I needed to find a way where I could have as little resistance as possible to show up and create content so I can make a video a week, because I knew I was going to be building a bigger system, a bigger business as well. So it's not just about showing up here once a week and making a video. There's a lot of things that are happening on the outside. So for me, it had to be consistent in this sort of way. I have a lot of experience in terms of lighting and shooting, and knowing how to be present on camera because of the years that I've had directing people as a documentary director. So I took a lot of that experience and just turned it on myself. So it was a process of finding my format, finding my process, finding a system where I could show up every single week, be consistent to build this channel. So the consistency aspect of it's really important. So again, with each one of your videos, you are solving, if you're in the educational space, if you're in the knowledge space, the insight space, then every single video is speaking to that one person, and you are taking them through a process where you are showing that you relate to that person, where you can make that person be seen and felt, so that they can then feel orientated and chilled enough to be able to take on the insight that you're going to offer. When you deliver insight that offers a micro transformation, you build connection. Through that connection, that is how you build your channel. If there's no connection, it's going to be very difficult to build your channel. And actually, as a side note, there are many things that you can learn in this space about building a channel, building a personal brand, whatever it may be. Plenty of tactics, technical things, all this sort of stuff. If you can't speak in a way which creates connection, then none of the other stuff matters. You could have the best lighting, the best video stuff, the best whatever, but if you are just like super awkward on camera and you can't like create that connection, you can't tell a story in a way which is going to be relatable, it's going to be very difficult for whoever clicks on your video to stick around, because ultimately your titles and your thumbnails are going to be the thing that gets you the click, and when they open that video, they're going to see you. And within that first sort of 5 seconds, 10 seconds, they're going to know whether or not that video is for them, and whether or not you are somebody that they're going to connect with. So, and if your camera presence isn't something that is in flow, for lack of better expression, or it doesn't offer that level of human connection, people are going to click away. So I would suggest that you spend a lot of time. If you feel like your camera presence isn't quite right, spend a lot of time on your own making videos that nobody's going to see. I did this for a long time, and it was very helpful. This can just really help you to use the camera to be a non-judgmental director, where you can speak your mind freely and then go back, observe it, watch it intentionally. Like imagine you're a director of a movie and you're looking for truth. If you can see truth in it, like this feels like me, then you know you're in a good position. And then just keep working until you get yourself into a position where you start to feel like authentic, where you can see on the camera that you are being more and more yourself. So that is one thing I'll definitely say is really important. So if you want to build a sustainable business, if you want to build some sort of like coaching program or an offer which can take people into to work with you in a different way, like I have with the Really Real Creator experience, then every single video you need to have a call to action. If you don't have a call to action, all you're doing is getting views, and unfortunately views and subscribers don't matter anymore. You would have heard it a million times before. It doesn't mean the viewer and the subscriber is not important. It just means that the way in which the algorithm works now, it doesn't serve your content to the same people all the time. So just because someone subscribed or just because somebody watched, it doesn't mean they'll see the next video or the one after that. So if you have a call to action into something, maybe a newsletter or a school community, whatever it may be, you can take them off the platform, and then you get them into a position so that you can communicate with those people whenever you want. So if somebody watches a video and you have a call to action, which is something like join my school community as well. If you haven't joined my school community, it's called the Really Real Creator. It's called the Really Real. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's free, but you can come and join me there, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you have a call to action in your video, you can then take that viewer into something else which is also valuable, which is also going to be cool for that person. And then because I have people in my school community, I don't have to rely on the algorithm anymore. I don't have to rely on the algorithm of serving my video to the person that needs it. So now I can speak to people within my community. I can also speak to them via my newsletter, my email newsletter. So that is a really important part. Like if you actually want to build a business, if you're not looking to build a business or any of that sort of stuff, then that's pretty pointless. But you might not want to build a business now. You might just think that you want to get lots of views and subscribers, get some brand deals and all that sort of stuff. But you might also get to a point later down the line where that just feels unsustainable and you want to build a business, maybe something which is more educational. So what I would suggest is you start building that email list right now. If you don't have an email list, it's very difficult to build a business later or now, whatever it may be. So that is a super important part. Once you've got that email newsletter, you can communicate with your audience, with your core audience, whenever you want. And I used to think like, what the hell? Who cares about emails? I never flip and open an email. Why would I ever open an email? They annoy me, sort of thing. But as I got more into this world and I started to sign up for other people's newsletters, I noticed I'd open them because when you're getting genuine value from somebody, if someone's making a video and you watch it and you got something from it and you feel like you went through some sort of like micro transformation where that person helped you, if you can get an email from that person once a week, of course you're going to read it because that person was helpful. So it's a different way of thinking about it. Before, I didn't really understand this value creation online. So I was just like, why would I ever give my email away? Sort of thing. But when you can opt into an email, if you can get someone into your emails, and you can communicate about anything you want. So if you do have an offer later on down the line, maybe a program or something like that, you can send it straight to people within your newsletters, and you don't have to do it here on the internet like a madman, just selling your product. And then if you do want to turn this into a sustainable business, then you need to think about the offer. So what is it that you can actually offer? So when you, again, like come back to where we started, you think about what is it that I've been through in my life? What are the experiences that I've lived through? What are the skills, the insights, the knowledge that has been useful for me that could be useful for somebody else? Then you package that up into an educational offer where you can take people through a step-by-step process, a framework, a blueprint, which is completely unique to you. Like I said in the beginning, you are the only version of you that has ever existed. There's only one person that has ever walked the exact line that you have, and you are that person. And when you can map that, when you can recognize your one-of-one uniqueness, and you can build a system out of that, you can build some sort of digital product out of that, whether it be a cohort, a program, a course, whatever it may be, then you can build a business out of it. And this is where you can start to begin to shape the life that you want, where you can become your own boss, where you don't have to work for anyone else. So that is exactly what I would do if I were you, sort of coming into 2026. We're coming towards the end of the year, which is pretty nuts. 2025, it's almost done. We're coming into 2026. I'd love to know from you, how has your year been? What is it that you've been going through? Or what is it that you're planning on doing next year in 2026? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, because a huge part of what it is that I do here is building community. I don't want this to be a one-way stream. I want to hear from you as much as possible in the comments. So let me know what's going on. I read every single comment. I try and respond to every single one. So hit me up in the comments. And yeah. Again, if you haven't joined my school community, I'll leave a link below. Come find me there. And if you enjoyed this video, you'll enjoy this one as well. This is one I did a while ago, and you guys seem to dig it. So go check it out, and I will see you in the next one.